from this power unit system, this is not included. You should not study this. These problems are very easy. Later one day, maybe 2 hours, I'll spend time for different your topics, numericals, maybe later, right? But this only that power unit system, only numericals you will study up to this. But these methods of voltage control, you should not. You should skip this whole thing. You should skip. No need, right? No need, whole thing you should skip, right? Only you will only you will study up to this, right? I mean up to this figure 5.22, this power unit system. But after that, from 5.5 onwards, you should not study anything. This simply you will skip all these things, you will skip, right? No need. For the time being you will skip. And for power unit system, only as an exercise, only this 5.3 will do, only 5.3, right? And one of you has sent mails at data and other thing for this problem. I think data are correct. One day I'll see it, right? And only 5.3 as an assignment, only 5.3. That's all. And regarding your test, I'll detail syllabus, other things I'll let you know. I'll send detail mail, everything. First test will be conducted on 9th February. That is Wednesday. 9th February, sorry. And it is Wednesday, right? And exam will be for 1.5 hours. 1 hour 30 minutes, right? And 4 questions will generally I give 4 questions, maybe 3, maybe 5 also, I do not know, but generally 4 questions will be given, right? And syllabus, other thing, what you will study, everything I'll mail to all of you. But first test will be conducted on your Wednesday, 9th February, and it is 2 hours class, so exam time will be 1 hour 30 minutes, right? And try to do well. And at that time you will find email from TS, teaching assistant, because I have to make many groups, and they will send you the link for the exam. Question paper, everything will be different for each group, but from the point of view of degree of easiness or degree of difficulty, whatever it is, it will remain same. Everything will remain same. Only data may be different for different group or maybe for different student, right? So it will be 1.5 hours and 3 tests. I told you 20 marks, 30 marks per assignment, and 10 marks I'll give some special assignment. Directly you may not find book, that will be given later, right? So this is your 9th February, Wednesday, and duration will be details. I'll send you the mail later. Syllabus, other thing, everything I'll send. Maybe at the end of this week, or maybe some in the first week of February, I'll let you know the syllabus, right? So this is your this thing. Now next is regarding, I gave you one. I don't know how many of you have made it. I'll check the other mail, and only 2 students I got in my regular email where it comes that we have made it, but others I have not checked the other thing. I'll check it today or tomorrow, and if I find things are correct, I'll respond to those mail, right? So far only one I have responded, right? And deadline is over because I gave 11:55 p.m. By Sunday, right? So I'll check that one. Anyway, come to characteristic and performance of transmission lines. So this is actually, you will find that a little bit in your signals network course or other course, you have studied ABCD parameters, right? So ABCD parameters are very common, not only for electrical engineering, I mean in general, electronic circuitry, other things, different places, you have seen that ABCD parameters. So for the characteristic and performance of transmission line also, we will find ABCD parameters, and things are quite similar to that, but it is related to transmission line, sending and receiving end voltage, and sending end and receiving end current. So generally for a transmission line, transmission line is a long sending end side and receiving end side, both the things will be there. So generally for sending end side voltage, we represent Vs is equal to, I'll tell you, we'll see how it is coming. Vs is equal to sending end voltage is equal to A into Vr plus B into IR. Vr is the receiving end voltage and IR is the receiving end current. Similarly, sending end current is equal to C into Vr plus the D into IR. Same as Vr and IR is receiving end voltage and current, and Vs, Is is the sending end voltage and current, and A, B, C, D Just hold on. Somebody wants to join. I have to admit. Just let me check. Yes. Right. So, this ABCD parameter we have to determine, right? So this way we write. But from your, if you have studied ABCD parameters for anything, you know this is the identity. AD minus BC always holds is equal to 1. It holds good, right? This condition here also you will see that AD minus BC will be always is equal to 1. Right. Now, for a transmission line, if you assume this is a small jet, one or two places typographical error is there. I'll correct that one later. So small jet is equal to represent your what you call that is your series impedance per unit length, right? So it is R actually, right? Small r. It is not gamma, right? It is Z is equal to R plus JL omega ohm per meter. This is not gamma. This is R, right? So this is a small correction. Then shunt admittance also will be there. We'll see that how things are coming, particularly from the shunt capacitance. So sorry, this your what you call that's conductance plus j omega c. This is Siemens per meter or mho per meter, right? So G is the conductance. Generally, we neglect for transmission line. This conductance come due to that leakage through the insulator of the transmission line. We will not study that. So generally, G is not there. We'll neglect that one. It will be j omega c due to the charging capacitance of the transmission line, right? So this is Siemens per meter or mho per meter, right? And Z is equal to capital Z is equal to small z into L. L is the length of the line. So total impedance will be this small z into L. So Z is equal to small z into L. This is ohm, right? Similarly, shunt admittance Y is equal to the small y into L Siemens, right? Or mho. That is total shunt admittance, and L is the line length in meter. So these are the nomenclature. This is R, huh? This is not gamma. This is a typographical error. Now, short transmission line. Generally, what happen in a transmission line that you will find that whenever your transmission line length is 70-80 kilometers and voltage level is low, generally that charging capacitance is ignored. That is line charging capacitance is ignored, because if you assume that when we are studying your capacitance chapter, right, that we can assume two parallel plates, one is ground, another is your transmission line, right? So charging current will flow, and you will find that your what you call the charge is uniformly, that your capacitance will be uniformly distributed along the line, and charging current will be there from line to ground due to that charging capacitance, that is line to ground capacitance, right? But if the voltage level is low of the transmission line, right, and length of the transmission line is less, so that capacitance can be ignored, neglected, right? Generally for 33 or 66 kV line, that is not much prominent, right? Particularly overhead transmission line. So for short transmission line, what you will see that simply you will take a VS is the sending end voltage, simply the way you have done your electric circuit, right? Simply your RL circuit, right? And this is the sending end voltage. This is Z is equal to R plus J, resistance plus reactance, right, of the transmission line. And this side is the load, receiving end load. Receiving end voltage is VR, and this is IR. So no charging capacitance here, no shunt capacitance here. So whatever is the current at the sending end, same current is going to the load, that is receiving end, right? So if you make your what you call that simple KVL, if you apply, then VS will be equal to your VR plus IR into Z, IR into Z, right? So that is your VS, and IS is equal to IR. Now, if you put this one in the matrix form, then VSIS is equal to 1Z01 VRIR. So VS is equal to VR, VS is equal to VR plus IR into Z, right? And IS is equal to IR, because sending end and receiving end current is same. So it is 0 and it is 1, right? So this is, that means A is 1, B is Z, C is 0, D is 1. So AD minus BC is equal to 1. That condition holds, right? Now, if we assume, go back to your circuit theory, if you assume this current is lagging, because this is inductive circuit and load is also you are assuming lagging, say lagging case, if you assume, then you what you call, then this is your receiving end voltage as a reference you take, this is your reference you take, and this is the current is lagging, right? This is the current I is equal to IS is equal to IR, and this is your IR, and perpendicular to this is IX, right? This is IR, magnitude of the current into R, and this is IX, and this is perpendicular to this. And if you complete the phasor diagram, this is VS, right? So angle between VS and VS and I, that is equal to IS and R, is delta S. And angle between VR and I, this is delta R. Therefore, angle between VS and VR will be delta S minus delta R, right? Now, I need not explain this. I think you can get it. So if you make approximation, I mean, just hold on this. Here I'll show you on that whiteboard that if this is your VR, this is for lagging thing, right? This is VR. So this is the current. This is your I, is magnitude. I'm not putting bar again and again, but understandable. This is 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 equal to IR, right? So this is your parallel to this line. This is your IR, right? And this is your IX, right? This is magnitude of the current. And now if you join it, this is your sending end voltage. So this angle is your delta S, and this angle is delta R, right? Therefore, this angle is delta S minus delta R, right? Now, if you extend this, if you make it like this, so this is your delta R, means this is also your delta R, right? And this will be 90° minus delta R, right? Therefore, if you take this projection along this line, so it will be VS cosine delta S minus delta R is equal to, this is your VR plus this angle is delta R, so this angle is IR, so it will be IR cos delta R, right? Because this is also delta R, right? And this angle, your what you call this angle, if you take, it will be 90° minus delta R, so it will be basically IX, so your sine delta R, right? So same thing here it is made. VS is cos delta S minus delta R is equal to IR cos delta R plus IX sine delta R, and plus your this thing plus your VR, right? This is an approximation. Now, generally, delta S minus delta R is very small. Therefore, cosine of delta S minus delta R is approximately equal to 1. Therefore, VS is equal to VR plus I into R cosine delta R plus X sine delta R, right? So this is something like your transformer side. If you have studied transformer, that is the relationship of the secondary side and primary side voltage for lagging power factor. Had it been a leading power factor, this should have been minus. This leading power factor part you should do, but I am just drawing phasor diagram for you for leading power factor. It is not here in the book, but in that case, this will be your VR and current is leading. So current will be somewhere here, right? So this will be your, in that case of IR, and this will be your IX, and somewhere it will be your VS, right? So accordingly, if you just you do it yourself from the phasor diagram, right? And in this case, if you do, it will be a minus sign. So VS will be VR plus IR cosine delta R minus X sine delta R for the leading power factor. For lagging power factor, this is the relationship, right? And this relationship approximation is quite true for transmission line for this kind of thing. It is simple like your series RL, your RL circuit, whatever you have studied in your first year, right? Now, next we define. So this is the sending end voltage. But another thing is there, that if you try to find out what will be, I'm just telling you. So if sending end voltage is known, for example, say I is known, say delta R is known, then easily you can find out VR, right? But generally, I mean, I will appreciate that if you can do this. Generally, here you can see that is because of approximation, you are getting only one solution of VS, right? You are getting your VS only, that VR plus your IR cos delta R plus IX sine delta R. If VS is known, if I is known, R is known, X is known, delta R is known, then you can find out what is VR, receiving end voltage, right? Or vice versa. If receiving end voltage is known, then this thing. But this will be an exercise for you. This is the first that I told you there will be some assignment here also it is magnitude, because A is a complex quantity in general. We'll see that medium line and long line. But in this case, for this example, it is A is equal to 1 because charging capacitance is not there, right? So in this case, your percentage of voltage regulation in general for a short line, A is equal to 1, VR full load is equal to VR. Therefore, it is Vs minus VR upon this are magnitude into 100. So in general, regulation will be sending end voltage minus receiving end voltage divided by the receiving end voltage into 100. This is percent voltage regulation, right? This is equation 10. Now, if you put from this equation, that is Vs minus Vr is equal to I into R cos delta R plus X sin delta R. So Vs minus Vr. So here if you substitute that Vs minus Vr is equal to, then it is I into bracket, like your transformer regulation, same formula, R cos delta R plus X sin delta R upon VR into 100. If it is a leading power factor, that was lagging power factor. If it is a leading power factor, I showed you the phasor diagram how we will do this. It will be a minus sign, I into R cos delta R minus X sin delta R upon VR. So this percentage of voltage regulation, this is same as your transformer, lagging or leading power factor, right? Same philosophy applied here for transmission line, right? So this is for lagging power factor and this is for leading power factor. Now another next is, so this is it is open book exam, so all this formula will be in front of you, but when you solve it you have to think little bit that how to do this, if anything is given. So if the line is say within a length of 80 or 250 kilometers, at that time the charging capacitance we cannot ignore. We have to consider the charging capacitance. So what we do in our power system studies, we represent transmission line by pi model. Right. That means whatever line charging capacitance is there, hence the susceptance, whatever it is here, what we do, we both end of the line, we take half. This side, if it is total is y, this side we take y by 2, and this side we take y by 2. This is an approximation, but fair enough. In our transmission line for very large power system network, we always follow this your pi model, right? This is a pi model. So whatever star delta you have studied, so it is also like a pi means delta, right? So and this is the line impedance R plus jx, and this side total susceptance is y, or charging admittance, total charging admittance is y, right? So therefore this side we have made half, so receiving end we have made half, and sending end we have made it half of the transmission line, right? And this is the receiving end load, voltage across the load is VR, this is the current receiving end IR, and this is the sending end current IS, this is the sending end voltage VS, and this is the line current IL, right? So this way, this way, if you want to find out what is the current flowing to this charging admittance, it will be Y by 2 into Vs, right? Similarly, if you want to find out what is the current through VR, it will be Y by 2, current through this Y by 2, it will be voltage across this is VR, so VR into Y by 2, right? Therefore, if you apply KCL here, if you apply KCL at the receiving end, at this point, if you apply KCL here, so IL is equal to IR plus Y by 2 into VR. So IL is equal to IR plus Y by 2 into VR, right? Similarly, if you apply KVL now, then Vs is equal to the sending end voltage is equal to, it is VR, this is VR plus Z into IL. I mean, in this mesh you can apply the KVL, right? So Vs is equal to IL into Z plus VR. So IL into Z plus VR. Now IL is equal to IR plus Y upon 2 VR, right? So you substitute here, you substitute and simplify. If you do so, then you will get Vs is equal to 1 plus ZY upon 2 into VR plus ZIR. Now this is for Vs relationship in terms of VRIR. Now we have to also obtain Is in terms of VSIR, right? So in this case, Is is equal to, this is IL, you apply KCL here, So Is is equal to IL plus Y by 2 into Vs, right? So Is is equal to IL plus Y by 2 into Vs. Now this Vs is equal to 1 plus ZY upon 2 into VR plus ZIR. This Vs you substitute and simplify. This Vs you substitute here and simplify. You will get Is is equal to Y into 1 plus ZY upon 4 into VR plus 1 plus ZY upon 2 into IR. So this is Is in terms of VR and IR. Now if you put in terms of ABCD parameter, so this will be your A, A will be 1 plus zy upon 2, B will be is equal to Z, right? C will be is equal to your y into 1 plus zy upon 4, and D is equal to 1 plus zy upon 2, right? So A is equal to D actually. This is A, this is B, this is C, and this coefficient is D. Therefore, you can put it in smart matrix form. VSIS is equal to 1 plus ZY upon 2. This is Z. This is Y into 1 plus ZY upon 4. And this is 1 plus ZY upon 2 VRIR. Right. So A is equal to this much. B is equal to simply the line impedance Z. C is equal to Y into 1 plus ZY upon 4. And D is equal to 1 plus ZY upon 2. Here also identity will hold good. If you simplify AD minus BC, there you will find it will become 1. Right. So, and A is equal to D for this, and this model we use later for your transmission power transmission line, right? For a very complicated network, large network, we follow this one, right? And coding and other thing, automatically it can be written. Nowadays, so many things are available, right, commercially. So this is actually we your what you call we represent. Only thing is that you have to find out what is the value of y. You have to calculate according to the configuration of the transmission line is given, and according also z is equal to r plus jx, right? So all these things impedance also you need to know. Then only you can calculate this ABCD parameter of the transmission line. This is for pi model, and this is your very common model, right? Where I mean we use pi model for transmission. Later you will see whatever you have studied in your transformer modeling for electrical machines. Later I will show you in power system also we represent transformer using pi model, right? In our power system studies, whatever you have studied there in your machine, that is different. Here we will model transformer in a pi model. Later I will show you that thing will come later, right? So in this case, now this is medium line. For a long transmission line, what happened? This is very simple actually, nothing to be worried about looking this. So when transmission line is very long, say more than 250, 300 kilometers long, at that time we do not represent your transmission line. Generally we assume pi equivalent, but at that time we assume that it is your what you call the distributed parameters, right? That means your transmission line is very long, say more than 300 kilometers, 400 kilometers, very long line, then it is distributed parameter. So neither we represent Z is equal to directly R plus Jx, nor the admittance Y, charging admittance Y. What you do before moving that, you assume this is the sending end. This is the sending end, right? And this is the receiving end. So line distance is measured from the receiving end to the sending end. I mean, you are moving from receiving end to the sending end. So this is the first thing. Second thing is you assume a distance x from this receiving end. Say this is x, right? So and you assume that if charging is small y, it is Siemens per meter or kilometer or mho per kilometer, and you assume along the transmission line is very small distance delta x, right? Very small distance delta x. Delta x is very small. So as it is a distributed parameter, so this charging admittance will be y into small y into delta x, and this is also small y into delta x. And impedance for this small d delta x, it will be small z into delta x. Z is small z is ohm per kilometer, right? Z into delta x. So along at a distance x, the voltage across this is Vx, right? And current here entering is Ix. Now when you come here, x plus delta x, here if you come, then voltage will be, you assume Vx plus delta x, and current here, it will be I into I in bracket x plus delta x, right? This is the representation. Length is measured from your receiving end to the sending end. Total length is L. Here x is equal to 0, right? Here when here your x is equal to 0, so L is equal to 0, right? And here x is equal to L, right? This measured from receiving end to the sending end. Now you apply KCL and KVL. What we will do, first we apply KVL. So this voltage across this voltage is Vx plus delta x, right? So you can write Vx plus delta x is equal to, if you apply KVL here, it will be Z into your delta x, this Z into delta x, and current flowing through this is Ix into Ix, plus this voltage is Vx, right? So Vx plus delta x is equal to Z into delta x into Ix plus Vx, right? Therefore, you can write Vx plus delta x minus Vx upon delta x is equal to Z into Ix, right? Now, when delta x tends to 0, so this is the approximate derivation of derivative. When delta x tends to 0, this will basically dVx upon dx is equal to small z into Ix. This is equation 20, right? So, this is one equation you got. Similarly, if you assume that KCL, if you apply KCL here, that Ix plus delta x is equal to, this is Ix plus, this is your Vx plus delta x into y into delta x, right? That means here if you look, Ix plus delta x is equal to your Ix plus y into delta x into Vx plus delta x. I mean, at this point you are applying KCL. Ix plus delta x is equal to Ix plus y into delta x into Vx plus delta x. This is charging admittance, right? Therefore, if you simplify this,
So what is y?
what is?
Y.
Y is the small charge, your charging admittance. That is your line to ground. That capacitance, charging capacitance is uniformly distributed. Because of that, you have the charging admittance. Y is the, at the very beginning, here the nomenclature is given. You will follow this. At this very beginning, this Y is equal to shunt admittance per unit length, right? G is neglected. G is not there. So small y is equal to J omega C Siemens per meter, right? So this is charging admittance, because for high tension line, that your line to ground, that charging capacitance, that charging current flows due to the charging capacitance, right? So that's why this small y is the charging, that is line to ground. If you go to say high tension, if you stand beneath the high tension transmission line, say 220 kilovolt or above, particularly in the rainy season, other thing, if you try to rub your finger, you may feel some kind of your shocking, light shocking type of thing, right? So that charging charging capacitance is uniformly distributed along the line, hence the admittance, right? But it is, we are assuming a very small length delta x, and y is the Siemens per meter or your ohm per meter, mho per meter, right? And its, if length is delta x, then total charging admittance is y into delta. So small y is that mho per meter, that is due to the line charging capacitance, that is line to ground, right? This is true for transmission line. Without considering this, if you try to analyze, result will be erroneous. Later I'll show you, right? So that's why this y is the charging admittance. That is, whenever you see that long transmission line, that is your tower, you have seen transmission line is going a high tension transmission line, that line to ground, this charging capacitance is always there, right? That's why when a line is carrying power, transmission line carrying power, suppose receiving end load is switched off, right? But still line will remain charged, right? At that time, what they do nowadays, so online they are working, lot of protection. What they used to do, for both end of the transmission line, they will ground that transmission line, right, fast, and up such that the charging capacitance or charging current will be discharged to the ground. After that, line will be free of your charge, right? So otherwise, even if line is not carrying power, but it was carrying power, suddenly switched off, but line will remain charged. And if if a person touches the, suppose to some using some conducting material, touches the conductor from the ground with bare feet, that person will die, because the charging current will flow through his body. So this charging capacitance is uniformly distributed along the line for high tension line 66 kV or above, right? So that's why this y is the charging capacitance, that is mho per meter or kilometer, and multiply this delta x, that is your, and pi representation I told you for medium line. Here we are doing it for pi representation. We are assuming total y, and then we are making it half. In this case, we are taking small y, and distance is your delta x. That's why y into delta x, because we are trying to find out in different way, and particularly, but this small delta x length we are representing as like a pi equivalent, right? So that's why this, if you apply KCL here at this point, if you apply KCL, I x plus delta x, and x is measured from receiving end to the sending end, right, is equal to your z into delta x, this Ix plus y into delta x plus into Vx plus delta x, right? Because it is admittance multiplied by this voltage, this is the current. So, and if you simplify this one, ix plus delta x minus ix upon delta x is equal to small y into vx plus delta x. Now, if x tends to 0, delta x tends to 0 rather, right, then this side will be an approximate derivation of derivative dix upon dx is equal to this y, and delta x tends to 0, so it will be can be written as y into vx, right? So this is that second equation. This is first equation, and this is the second equation, right? Now, if you take that differentiate this equation, if you take derivative once again, it will be d square vx upon dx square is equal to z into dix upon dx, right? And this dix upon dx is y into vx, so you substitute. So d square vx upon dx square z into dix upon dx is equal to z into y into vx, right? Therefore, d square vx upon dx square minus zy vx is equal to this solution, you know, from your differential equation, other things, so you have solved many things. So you define gamma square is equal to zy. Let us assume gamma square is equal to z into y, right? Therefore, you can write d square vx upon dx square is equal minus gamma square vx is equal to 0. So solution of this differential equation, vx is equal to can be written as c1 into e to the power gamma x plus c2 into e to the power minus gamma x. This you have studied from differential equation, right? So c1, c2 both are constant. We have to find out what is the value of c1 and c2. These two are constant, and gamma known as propagation constant, and gamma is equal to alpha plus j beta is equal to root over zy, right? This is your gamma, right? Because gamma square is equal to zy, so gamma is equal to root over zy is equal to, you assume, alpha plus j beta, right? So real part alpha is known as the attenuation constant, and the imaginary part b is known as the phase constant, right? So beta is measured in radian per unit length. So this way we define gamma. Now, from equation 20, that is your equation 20, that ix is equal to, here one correction is there, it is small z, that whatever it is written, no, ix is equal to capital Z, it is actually small z, typographical error. So ix is equal to 1, this is we are getting from equation 20, ix is equal to 1 upon the small z into dvx upon dx, right? Therefore, ix is equal to that, if you dvx upon dx, whatever you have this thing, this is your vx, this is your vx, you take derivative of this, so dvx upon dx is equal to c1 gamma e to the power gamma x minus c2 gamma e to the power minus gamma x, right? So that's why ix is equal to gamma upon z c1 e to the power gamma x minus c2 e to the power minus gamma x, right? Then gamma is equal to root over zy, you substitute here gamma is equal to root over zy, then you will get ix is equal to root over y by z, small y small z, into c1 e to the power gamma x minus c2 to the power minus gamma x, right? Or we define ix is equal to 1 upon zc, and zc is equal to root over zy. We define zc is equal to root over z upon y. Therefore, ix is equal to 1 upon zc, c1 e to the power gamma x minus c2 to the power minus gamma x. Zc is known as the characteristic impedance. Later I will define what is that later, right? And it's given by root over z upon y, right? Now we put the boundary condition. When x is equal to 0, vx is equal to vr. X is measured from this receiving end. So when x is equal to 0, then vx is equal to vr, right? Therefore, vx is equal to vr, and put in equation 26, right? You will get vr is equal to c1 plus c2, right? This is one thing. Similarly, also when x is equal to 0, ix is equal to ir. Because if you come to this, when x is measured from the receiving end, when x is equal to 0, then ix is equal to ir, right? Therefore, and from equation 28, you will get ir is equal to 1 upon zc, c1 minus c2. You solve these two equations such that you will get c1 and c2, right? Vr minus zc ir upon 2 e to the power minus gamma x. Similarly, for ix, you will get this expression, right? Now, this equation of voltage and current can be rearranged as, because gamma, now you rearrange this equation. So Vx you will get e to the power gamma x plus e to the power minus gamma x upon 2 Vr, right? And plus Zc e to the power gamma x minus e to the power minus gamma x upon 2 Ir. This is Vx. Similarly, for Ix is equal to e to the power gamma x minus, you simplify and put in this form. e to the power gamma x minus e to the power minus gamma x upon 2 ZC VR plus e to the power gamma x plus e to the power minus gamma x upon 2 into IR. So this one Vx will be, this is cos hyperbolic gamma x VR, this is cos hyperbolic, and this is ZC sine hyperbolic, right, into IR. And similarly Ix will be 1 upon ZC, it will be sine hyperbolic gamma x VR plus this one cos hyperbolic gamma x IR, right? So this way, here also this is A, B, this is C, this is AD minus BC is equal to 1. Because cos square hyperbolic gamma x minus sine square hyperbolic gamma x is 1, and 1 upon ZC actually will be cancelled, right? So this is actually expression, general expression Vx and Ix, right? At any distance x from the receiving end. Now, our interest is in the relation between the your sending end and the receiving end of the line. When x is equal to L, when x, if come to this diagram, when x is equal to L, receiving end, we are measuring from receiving end, x is equal to L, so what will be there? That your VL actually is equal to Vs, right? So, and Vs is, and similarly IL will be equal to Is. So when x is equal to L, if you put in this expression x is equal to L, then Vs will be cos hyperbolic gamma L VR plus ZC sine hyperbolic gamma L IR. Similarly, Is will be 1 upon ZC sine hyperbolic gamma L VR plus cos hyperbolic gamma L IR, right? So A is equal to this, B is equal to this, C is equal to this, and D is equal to this, right? So this is actually for, this is a generalized expression for ABCD parameter of transmission line. Perhaps you might have studied, I am not sure, for electronic circuit and other things, or measurement course, ABCD parameter. So philosophy is identical, right? Philosophy is identical, only expression may be in different way, but this ABCD parameter and AD minus BC is equal to 1, that identity holds, right? So this is actually ABCD parameter. Now if ABCD, if we make it an equivalent pi, right, equivalent pi of this, I mean this equation, this circuit, this one, this is a distributed parameter we have taken. Now if we make an equivalent pi model, like your medium transmission line, like your medium transmission line, if we make an equivalent one, right, so if you make an equivalent one, so in that case, instead of zy, we are making z dash y dash by 2. Here we have 1 plus zy by 2. We are making an equivalent of the long transmission line. So instead of zy, we are making z dash and y dash, right? Instead of z, we are making z dash. Instead of making y, we are making y dash, right? So that's why if we make an equivalent one, this is z dash y dash by 2 VR, z dash IR. Only instead of z and y, we are making z dash and y dash, right? And if you compare, I mean, you have to solve it, right? I have written directly. Now, if you make 1 plus z dash y dash by 2 is equal to, say, your cos hyperbolic gamma L, then if you make z dash is equal to, then your ZC sine hyperbolic gamma L like this, right? Similarly, your this expression, this y dash into this expression is equal to 1 upon ZC sine hyperbolic gamma L. And this expression 1 plus z dash y dash upon 2, same as before, that cos hyperbolic gamma L. And if you solve it using this identity, that tan hyperbolic gamma L by 2 is equal to cos hyperbolic gamma L minus 1 by sine hyperbolic gamma L by 1, then actually you will get z dash is equal to this much and y dash by 2 is equal to this much, right? I have written, I am not asking you to solve this one, but if anything is there in the exam, directly you can use this expression. This is what we are doing it, we are comparing this and solving for z dash and y dash. If you solve it, I mean this one, if you make cos hyperbolic gamma L and b is equal to this sine hyperbolic gamma L and solve it for y, then and using this identity, the tan hyperbolic gamma L upon 2 is equal to cos hyperbolic gamma L minus 1 by sine hyperbolic gamma L, right? Then z dash will be this much and y dash by 2 will be this much, and this is your equivalent pi model, this your for long transmission line. So instead of y by 2, we are making y dash by 2. So what is happening actually for long transmission line? It is for long transmission line, what were your this thing b is equal to z, right? In this instead of z, it is multiplied by sine hyperbolic gamma l upon gamma l, and it was y by 2 for pi by your medium transmission line, multiplied by tan hyperbolic gamma l upon 2 by gamma l upon 2, right? Only y by 2 is multiplied by this term and z is multiplied by this term, right? And this is quite your fair enough, right? And directly I am not asking you to derive, just keep it, it is open book exam, directly you will get it, but calculation should be correct. Generally power system thing I have seen, although I am giving marks out of 10, 7, 8 I am giving if calculation is wrong, right? If method is correct then only, otherwise no, right? So thing is that when you will compute, see, use your calculator in better way. By chance this way, that way, polar, rectangular, rectangular, polar, there is every possibility of making mistake, right? So so today up to this only, and Wednesday is a holiday, right? And Thursday I may or may not take class, right? I will be on leave on that day. So next week again perhaps we will meet, and syllabus other thing later I will know you. First test will be on, once again those who have joined late, that your first class test will be on 9th of February. 9th of February, right? And it will be 8 to 10, but it will be 1.5 hour exam. Generally 4 questions I will give, 3 to 4 questions, not more than that, right? And you will get enough time. So those teaching assistants, they will mail you, because total, if I recall correctly, how many students are there? I think 105 or 106, right? So teaching assistants will be there. So I'll make group. So they will send you the meeting link, exam link. During your exam, I'll send you detailed mail syllabus to all the students, everyone, right? And how things will be followed and this, that, everything I'll send you a mail later, right? At the end of this week or next week, Monday or so. So this Thursday I'll be busy, I may not take class, right? But this numericals, other thing, 1 day 2 hours numerical I'll take from each chapter and I'll show you again, right? And so we'll meet next week. This week Thursday I'll be on leave, right? And try to do my suggestion is that you will try to do well. And exam will be on 20, I'm top saying now, 20 marks, right? And 3 tests will be there, and this assignment which I have given, right, that your VR has 4 solutions, you have to prove only 1 solution is feasible, other 3 are from your simple mathematics knowledge of differential equation, your quadratic equation, you can prove that these 3 things will be infeasible and only 1 solution is feasible, and that numerical for short transmission line given, and that assignment, and last date of submission is 8th February, right, or before that, right? Those who will submit earlier, they will get little bit of more credit, particularly at the time of grading. So thank you very much. This Thursday I will be on leave, I may not take class. Wednesday is leave, so again we will meet next week Monday, right? So thank you very much. If you have any question, you can ask me. And those who have responded to that first thing, that whatever I given and this thing, only one boy I have replied, others I have not replied, but I will reply at the end of this week. I will remain busy for some work. I will reply to all of you, those who have sent those things, but till Sunday 11:55 p.m. Beyond that, those who have given, I will not be entertained. Anyway, anything else you want to ask, or I have to leave?
Hello, sir.
Tell me.
Sir, we have to find,
tell me.
we have to find the value of VR from that graph on.
With that VR, no?
Yes, sir.
The equation will be different. Whatever is written in the book, it will not be that equation.
So right. From that phasor diagram only we have to find. No,
directly phasor diagram is not required. I only hints is given that VR is the voltage magnitude. I'm not putting bar, right? VR is take the voltage magnitude. I mean, if you can do it, it will be. I'm making it. Some hint I am giving, it will be VR is the magnitude. I am not putting bar, understand it will be VR plus 4. It will come like this, just if you can make it some hint, it will be VR square plus some term will be there is equal to 0. In bracket something will be there, in bracket something will be there, and this VR actually, this is voltage magnitude. In the book it is written that VR to the power 4, but I'm not putting bar again, but this is voltage magnitude. This is voltage magnitude. This magnitude has 4 solutions, and if you look, this is VR4, this is VR square, means it is quadratic equation of actually VR square, because this is VR square. This is VR4. So this equation is a quadratic equation of VR square, because if you assume VR square is equal to x, this will be x square plus this bracket term into x plus this one, right? So equation will come in this form. Out of these 4 solutions, only one solution is feasible, other 3 solutions are not feasible. You have to bring this equation. You bring it. It is possible. You assume that as I have given means it is possible, right? And you prove it that
Okay,
one
sir.
solution is feasible. Got it or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay.
This is voltage magnitude. This is voltage magnitude. This is not complex quantity. This is voltage. I am
Okay.
interested in only voltage magnitude. In
Okay.
bracket, something will be there. What is there? I'll not tell you. Then you will get this thing. And another thing is that this side, just a hint. This side, whatever. Just 1 minute. Just hold on. Still, time 1 or 2 minute time is there. This side, this load you will assume P plus JQ. This is you will take P plus JQ, right? This load. So this load you will take. Otherwise, this thing load you will take P plus JQ, right? That load whatever is given, and resistance you will take R plus JX, right? And that's all. So this load, please take P plus JQ. This is not mentioned here. Only load is mentioned. You will take P plus JQ. So that equation will be in terms of P, Q, R, and X. This is the hint. You try. Right. Even if you take beyond 8th February also, I'll not mind, but you try and give me the
Okay, sir.
details. Okay. So thank you very much, because you have another class perhaps 10:58. So I think I stopped sharing screen, but I showed something on the screen. Right. But anyway, this load you take P plus JQ, and equation will be VR to the power 4 plus some constant into VR square plus some constant is equal to 0. Right. Anyway, otherwise next class you ask me, I will give you further hint. Okay then. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I'm leaving then. Huh? Okay. Okay.